Good morning, madam.
Hi.
As a First Lady, you have taken the responsibility of promoting Iceland as a tourist destination. What are the main challenges facing Iceland as a destination, to your point of view, as a result of climate change?
Well, in Iceland, of course, climate change is something that we see and we're close to every day. We have glaciers in our country. You can actually drive and see how they are receding. So we feel very close to climate change. But we also are a sustainable country. We have our heating, our electricity is all provided by renewables. So we're a very sustainably focused country. And extending that to tourism is just part of the process of how we're doing things. So for us, being more sustainable in travel and tourism means protecting our natural sites that many people come to visit for, making sure that they are accessible and safe and maintained properly for the years to come, and also encouraging sustainability from the people who are visiting our country, which means visiting lots of different times of year, not just one time of year, taking it slow, buying local, and traveling to maybe different regions in the country and staying there for a little while. And I think that that's something that people working in the tourism industry and not are all focused on in Iceland.
In your book, you mentioned that tourism helped Iceland emerge from the economic crisis of 2008. Can you explain?
Yes. So you're right. Traditionally in Iceland, our biggest contributor to the economy was to do with the fisheries industry, fishing, fish processing. Then, as air travel increased, people started to visit Iceland. And there were two things that happened after 2008. One, we were famous in the world, sadly, for kind of going bankrupt and needing an IMF loan. And secondly, in 2010, the volcano Eyjafjallajökull erupted, had this ash cloud that flew over Europe and disrupted air travel over the whole continent. And all of a sudden, people realized, Iceland is a lot closer than I thought it was, because this ash cloud can travel over. And there was a huge campaign then to show people this doesn't mean it's dangerous. It just means that it's easier to visit than you think because we're closer, but it's totally different. And those two kind of publicity things really cultivated in people realizing that this is a different destination, but it's very safe and not nearly as far as they think. And that's really has increased the number of visitors that we have to the country. Plus, we've got an excellent airline network because we're an island, so you almost always have to fly. But anyone traveling between Europe and North America, or vice versa, can stop over in Iceland on the way, and that also makes it easy.
Tourism has exploded in the 20 years you've been living in Iceland. What are the advantages and the disadvantages of this rapid development?
Well, for people, we Icelanders who live in the country, it's been wonderful because of the availability of things that are there, the accommodation options for us as well to travel outside of the areas where we live, the restaurant options. We've got all these Michelin star restaurants now and different cuisines, different experiences. So it's been a benefit to the local population. And in 2015 or thereabouts, tourism surpassed fisheries as the greatest contributor to our GDP. So it has been of economic benefit to everybody in the country in one way or another. And I think that although we do have a discussion about tourism and numbers of tourists, I think you will find that most people agree that that has been something that has been beneficial to our country.
So just benefits, not disadvantages?
We never say disadvantages, we always say opportunities. Those of us in the public. And of course, one can't be naive. One has to look at the impact of travel, all of the air travel, cruise ship travel, the impact that it has on our infrastructure, our roads, our healthcare system. And there are, long-term methods that are being taken. There will probably be some sort of a tourism tax that is introduced next year. The details we don't have yet. There are ways to encourage people to use electronic vehicles, ways to maintain, as you say, the tourist sites and roads and safety and all of that. So, of course, you have to look at that. But at the moment, I think people feel that travel and tourism to Iceland is bringing more advantages and disadvantages, but we have to think in a very conscious, sustainable, long-term way.
Okay. And so what do you think of the term over-tourism? Is it a reality in Iceland or not at all?
No, I would say it's not. I think that there's absolutely a discussion about that in terms of there's no pharmacy right downtown now. Now there's souvenir shops or restaurants. But if you look at destinations around the world that we see as very over touristed, Iceland is a huge country. You know, it's 4 times bigger than Wales in the UK. We have a lot of space, and we've dramatically reduced the seasonality of the tourism. So it used to be the most seasonal of the Nordic countries, and now it's the second least. Only a third, in 2018, only a third of our visitors came during the 3 summer months. So we're actually changing that a lot. So, you know, yes, if you go to, say, the geysers in the middle of July, you know, in a weekday, it'll be pretty busy. But you can very easily find space to breathe, find space to be on your own, depending on where you go and the time of year.
Okay, many thanks.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.